The greatest assassin on Earth is reincarnated into a medieval world of swords and sorcery by a goddess, with one purpose and one purpose alone: to assassinate the hero before he grows too strong and destroys the world. On a lovely moonlit night, many rich and powerful people gather by a riverside mansion. As the people dine in a large hall, young handcuffed girls dressed and covered in makeup are announced onto a stage where they're auctioned off and sold to the highest bidder. When the girl considered the most valuable item for the night is brought on stage, she suddenly uses magic to uncuff herself and produces a magical rifle with which she starts shooting the guests. Her accomplice, Tart, disguised as a maid, uses a spear to attack the security guards and subsequently gives the other imprisoned girls keys, setting them free. While Tart holds off the guards, the other girl, Dia, uses a powerful spell to set a section of the mansion on fire. This serves as a signal for their other accomplices, a girl named Maha and a boy named Lou, whom had been keeping an eye on the mansion from across the river. It's revealed that the slave auction is run by a marquess, who sends her men disguised as bandits to attack villages both nearby and in other countries, where they kidnap young girls for nobles to buy. As a member of House Tuatha Dé, Lou is sent to assassinate the marquess on royal orders. He lines up his target through the scope of a magical sniper rifle and pulls the trigger. In a strikingly parallel situation, an old man lies prone on a cliff with a sniper rifle while a young woman next to him acts as his spotter. The old man snipes 6 mafiosos with unerring speed and accuracy. The young woman urges him to kill the rest of them, but he stops, telling her that they were only asked to kill those 6 by the organization. He reminds her that they are not heroes, they're assassins, tools that aren't allowed to overstep their boundaries. As they get ready to leave, the old man spots a reconnaissance drone and quickly jumps into the driver's seat of their getaway vehicle, telling the girl to ready her weapons. With a regiment of Border Patrol agents approaching the speeding vehicle from behind, the assassins open fire on the troops. The agents return fire and completely destroy the car in the process. But the gunfire originating from the car had been a decoy, set up through a clever mechanism that used the vibrations from the bumpy road to set off the triggers, allowing the two to escape, while the drone and the Border Patrol had their attention focused on the vehicle only. With the two now lying in wait for an opportunity to escape, the woman strikes up a conversation with the old-timer and asks him how he became an assassin and if he were satisfied with his life. He replies that he was raised his entire life to be an assassin by the organization, that it's the only life he's ever known, and that he takes great pride in the service he's rendered for them. However, his age has finally caught up with him, and once he finishes this mission, he'll retire from active duty and serve as an assassination teacher for the organization in Japan. Their escape goes as planned, and they're provided with fake passports and plane tickets to Japan. While the old man contemplates the end of his lengthy career on the flight, an explosion in the cockpit kills the pilots and causes the plane to lose control. The old man realizes that this was an attempt by the organization to kill him and heads over to the cockpit. There, he sees a military aircraft next to his plane and smiles in amusement at the thought of being buried in such a magnificent coffin. The fighter jet launches a missile at the plane, and the old man is killed. As the old man's consciousness falls into darkness, the organization's betrayal forces emotions he'd been suppressing his entire life to surface, fueling feelings of frustration. Suddenly, the man opens his eyes and sees himself in a strange location with a woman sitting in front of him. This mysterious goddess reveals that she'd summoned his dead soul and would give him the option to reincarnate with all his memories intact in another world, as long as he fulfills her request to assassinate the hero of this world. With his lifelong dedication rewarded by betrayal, the assassin accepts but decides to live his new life for himself. The goddess furnishes him with knowledge about this new world, its magic system, and its hero, and tells the assassin to live his life however he pleases, so long as he kills the hero in 16 years, after the hero has slain the demon lord, but before he's driven the world beyond the point of no return. Armed with all the knowledge of the new world, the assassin asks to be given abilities that reach the peak of human limits in order to fulfill his duty. The hero is an unfettered being born with 30 skills, 25 of which are A rank and 5 that are S rank, while regular humans are limited to a maximum of 5 skills altogether. The goddess agrees and allows him to pick any 5 skills of his choosing, 1 of each rank, along with any magic attributes. The old man carefully analyzes all of the over 100,000 skills available in the world and picks the S-rank skill, Rapid Recovery, the A-rank Spell Weaver, which lets him create new spells, the B-rank Limitless Growth, the C-rank Martial Arts, and a D rank skill which surprises him for only being D rank. He also picks all 4 of the basic magic attributes: earth, fire, wind, and water. The goddess compliments him on his interesting choices and sends his soul to be reincarnated as a child of the Tuatha Dé, a noble house of assassins belonging to Elvin, one of the 4 major kingdoms of this world. Born to Cyan and Esri Tuatha Dé, the assassin is given the name Lu Tuatha Dé. 7 years pass, and while Lu is unable to use magic because he lacks a tutor, he strengthens his body and mana with regular training and hunting. As Elvan Kingdom's greatest assassins and medical experts, the expertise of the Tuatha Dé are also applied on Lu by his father Cyan. His physical growth is checked on a weekly basis, and an optimal training regimen is designed for him, so that he may fulfill his responsibility of dealing with those that threaten the kingdom. Being the heir of the family, Lu is taught all of their medical and assassination techniques and given the mystic eyes of Tuatha Dé, a magical eye surgery which greatly enhances regular eyesight and also allows the user to visually perceive mana. Upon the successful completion of the surgery and the recovery of his eyesight, his father arranges a magic mentor for Lu. This mentor turns out to be a 10-year-old genius by the name of Dia Viacone, one of the top 5 mages from the neighboring country of Swyogul. To begin their training, Dia hands Lu a Far Stone, which is used to store mana and can help determine the amount of mana a person has within them. Lu, through regular training, had already increased his mana capacity about 1,000-fold by this point. So, as he begins pouring all his mana into the stone, it cracked. Dia frantically tells him to throw the Far Stone as far away as he can, which helps keep them safe from the subsequent gigantic explosion. While the result turns out to be a shocking one to Dia, Lu is quite pleased with discovering a way to make magical grenades. In subsequent lessons, Dia helps Lu convert his mana into the different elemental magic attributes and teaches him how to cast spells through incantations. She also teaches Lu that the more magic you use, the more spells are sent into your mind from God. Lu questions if one would be able to cast spells if another mage wrote them down. Both Lu and Dia experiment and find that it's indeed possible to learn spells this way. Lu asks Dia to transcribe all the spells that she knows and analyzes the language of magic. He successfully generates new spells through this method and leverages this newfound ability to magically create rifles and powerful cannons. The time for Dia's mentorship quickly comes to an end. To mark the occasion, Lu gifts her with a titanium knife and Dia gives him a Far Stone and makes him promise to come see her whenever she sincerely asks him to. Judging that his son is ready to take the next step, Cyan takes Lu to a prison filled with death row inmates and asks him to kill a prisoner. This test is designed to help a person overcome their natural resistance towards killing others, a resistance which can prove fatal in the field. Before they start, Lu questions his parents' loving upbringing, as committing murder would be easier if he had been raised as an emotionless assassin. The reason he's given is that they're people, not tools. A tool kills because it's ordered to, but a person judges if the job they've been tasked with actually benefits the kingdom. While not completely satisfied with the answer, Lu nevertheless completes his first kill in this new world. Another few years pass and Lu reaches the age of 10. He heads into town with his parents and searches around for people with mana using his mystic eyes. With only 8 years to go before he has to kill the hero, he realizes the need for a talented assistant that possesses mana. As winter approaches, he heads into the forest to hunt for some food and comes across a starving girl being chased down by a pack of wolves. He saves her by quickly dispatching them. The girl reveals she comes from a poor family and was abandoned because they did not have enough food to feed everyone through winter. She heard from a traveler that the Tuatha Dé region was wealthy, so she walked across the mountains and into the forest to get there. Lu cooks her some porridge and tells her he's the son of the Tuatha Dé Lord. In shock, she recounts that God came to her in a dream and told her she'd have a fateful encounter. Hearing this, Lu offers her a job as his assistant, but reveals some of the dreadful details that work would entail. With little hesitation, she confidently agrees because Lu was the first person who had ever told her he needed her. Here, it's revealed the girl's name is Tart, and the reason Lu had been so quick to get close to her and make her trust him was because she possessed mana. More time passes and Lu turns 12. Tart becomes Lu's servant in public and his personal assistant in private. Cyan allows Lu to have Tart as his assistant as long as he personally instructs her and takes responsibility for killing her if she betrays the family. Lu teaches the assassination techniques of the Tuatha Dé and trains her the same way his father trained him, along with creating a foldable spear for her, given her natural gift with the weapon.
He also learns how to mass-produce far stones and stockpiles hundreds of them filled close to the brim with mana. With the addition of a little extra power, each stone could be used as a potent explosive. Cyan notes that Lu is ready to become a full-fledged assassin to the Tuatha Dé with just a single test remaining. A one-on-one fight between father and son. The duel takes place in the forest at night and involves a vicious back and forth between the two top assassins. Ultimately, Lu manages to successfully overcome his father's tricks and claims victory over the veteran family head. Cyan proclaims he has nothing more to teach his son and gives him permission to accompany him on his mission to gain practical experience. The two go on many trips together using Cyan's position as a doctor to study their targets from up close, before eliminating their corrupt victims in a variety of inventive ways. To truly cement himself as a first-rate assassin, Cyan gives Lu the task of building a fake identity to use as a means of entering the homes of unsuspecting nobles without raising their suspicion. Cyan uses his connections to arrange for Lu to present himself as the illegitimate son of a well-known merchant. He tasks him with assuming the identity of Ilip Balor until he reaches 14 years of age and tells him to achieve such success as a merchant that nobles willingly invite him into their homes. Lu jumps on this opportunity as his success would allow him to take advantage of the Balor Trading Company's information network. Meanwhile, the goddess looks at the progress of the hundreds of talented people she'd reincarnated into the world to kill the hero, including the world's strongest special forces soldier and strongest samurai among others. But discover they've all been duds so far. Time is running out, and the pressure is building on Lu to raise his strength and come up with a plan to assassinate the hero.